All right, welcome. Happy Saturday morning, Elimination Chamber Saturday. Well, the 12 p.m. kickoff. We'll call it kickoff. Makes you feels like a college football Saturday, doesn't it, DNezz?
Better than a pro football Saturday. I'm still not over that.
All right. All right. We won't go there then. So, yeah, Elimination Chamber coming to you from Saudi Arabia, correct? And some pretty good card, led by the Elimination Chamber matches. Just going into this, kind of things you're looking for.
I think the biggest word I'm looking for right now is closure. And that comes more at the line of I want a formed WrestleMania card. I want a clearer picture heading into WrestleMania because I want them to be able to focus on the actual building of the feuds and the storytelling, especially at the higher level. You've got Lesnar knocking on Reigns' door constantly. I just want to see it finalized. I want to know that that's going to be the match. I want to know what I'm focusing on because this is something that happens every now and again where your top title program should be set in stone. Royal Rumble winner, champion, boom. That's how it should go. And now we're dealing with all of this additional stuff. I have to assume they really want title versus title. Because if not that, then what are you doing? Are you just trying to milk everything out of Lesnar that you can? Which again, I get it. You know, the point of the business is to make money. But I think you could do more having Lesnar and Reigns just going at each other constantly and really build that up to be a good blood feud. So closure is a big thing. I'm really interested to see what direction they go in with the women's chamber match. There's 2-3 options. Alexa Bliss just got added in. What are they doing with her? That was a very odd drop in for me. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what she comes back as. I'm excited to see what she does. I'm excited to see Rhea Ripley in a chamber. I think that's a match that could really, really cater to her, and it's a match that could really, really boost her because we just saw last week in the gauntlet match, girl can go. Girl can go, and I've been a big fan of Ripley for a while. I've been really upset that she's kind of been pushed to the wayside. So I don't know. That might be my pick tonight. Yeah, really. I just want to see. I want to see a formed WrestleMania card, so I know what I'm looking at heading into it, and I know what I'm getting in terms of how they're going to build the feuds leading in. I want that. I want that solidarity in the company right now.
All right, so we'll start with the men's chamber match.
Okay.
We got Lashley defending against Lesnar, Styles, Rollins, Theory, and Riddle. What do you think makes sense in this match, and what are we trying to create out of this match?
So I think I'm interested to see who goes number one. I'm interested to see if champion goes number one. I can't remember other chambers just off the top of my head. But I feel like champions have started before. They're kind of last one in. So they go with the bell. But you have so many guys on an absolute roll right now. You have Riddle's doing really well with his stuff. If I had to pick out of all of them, Riddle's probably not. He's probably the lowest option on my mind right now, only because he's still got to wrap up what he's doing with Orton. And they still have Alpha Academy, and they still need their rematch. And I think that could be a Mania match that they're looking at. Theory's on a roll, and Theory is he's the young buck. He's got all the intangibles. He's got potential through the roof. I really like what he does. I really like his gimmick. I think I don't necessarily see Theory winning this unless it's some crazy two guys knock each other out on accident and Theory capitalizes and is like, look at me. And then all of a sudden he's thrown into a program with Reigns, and Reigns makes him grow up. Which, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. It could actually be real good storytelling. But that's only if Theory's ready. And I don't know if he's ready for that. He's a young kid. And I'm excited to see how he builds. He's probably a step ahead of Riddle, but then you get into the real meat of these guys, and all four of these guys coming up are this whole year they've been on a roll. Styles breaks free of Omos and no longer has to worry about trying to book around that guy, and now all of a sudden he's right back in form. I love AJ Styles. I love to see him in title programs. And honestly, this is a match that he could win. It would take a little bit of maneuvering and plotting, because Styles one-on-one against Lashley and Styles one-on-one against Lesnar. I don't expect those outcomes where Styles just outright beats one of them in the end. I would expect some kind of weird finish. Same goes for Rollins, though. And Rollins and Styles, they're both just really, really at the peak of their game right now. You can see it in their matches. You can see it in Rollins when he's doing anything right now. Rollins is just having the time of his life. Out of those two, I think Rollins would probably edge AJ just a bit for me. But then you get down to Lashley and Lesnar, which is what I think is the entirety of this match. And I have to assume that if Lashley starts the match as champion, Lesnar's probably getting out around 5 or 6. I don't think they're going to have both those guys out for the entirety of the match. You know, you get the aspect of the caged animal. You get the aspect of one can play the other while he's in the pod, and he's just jeering him and calling him out and talking smack. And you could even have it be something where Lesnar just breaks the pod open. Like, he's finally sick and tired of waiting, and Lesnar just kicks the pod in, and he's like, all right, let's go. Ultimately, I think I have to go with Lesnar. They're just over-advertising this idea of title v title. They're over-advertising this idea of Lesnar just kind of coming in, cleaning up, and all of a sudden you're looking at this larger-than-life main event at Mania, which I'm absolutely excited for, because I think it leads to other things. And I think I've talked about this on one of the episodes before. I'm a big fan of getting this brand split out of the way. I'm a big fan of unifying the titles so that your titles carry more clout with them. I've never been a big fan of having 2 top titles. It doesn't make sense to me. There's one top guy. So there's my long-winded version. I got to go with Lesnar. Just from what I'm seeing, what I'm seeing in the product, what I'm seeing on TV, I think that Lesnar makes the most sense if they're looking at this title v title scenario, and I think that match could actually go off really well.
Now, just some of the stuff we've read post Royal Rumble was that Riddle was a guy they thought was going to win it, kind of up to the last minute.
I was paying attention to that a little bit, because I was really upset when I was like, oh man, Riddle was going to win that. Like, that would have been cool to see.
Yep.
I guess that a lot of those reports actually came back negative, or at least WWE was trying to be like, no, we don't want you to stop it. Which it could very well go either way. Regardless, either way, I think Riddle is, when they come knocking for Riddle, he's going to have big things ahead of him. I think the guy's he's got a great feel for what he's doing. I know it's a goofy character, and I know everybody knocks the goofy stoner character, but it's 2022, guys. Eventually, some of these things got to be added in. I could say the same thing about Theory running around taking selfies with everybody that he either beats the crap out of or wants to have a feud with. Like, I could say the same thing for that character, but they're relatable. They're a modern spin on some classic trope characters. And that's what you need right now. That's what WWE needs. They're trying to cater to a mainstream audience. They're trying to cater to more people of a younger crowd. How do you do that? You have to infuse yourself with youth. Now, unfortunately, that also means that, stoners are a part of youth culture, but, you take what you can get. But the Austin Theory thing, the phone thing, the selfies thing, those are all good steps that I think WWE is making to try and make these characters more relatable. I wish that they'd make the product a little more realistic in terms of don't make such crazy gimmicks sometimes, or don't go so overblown with your gimmicks. And I think we'll get to that a little bit later as we go down the card, just because there's a couple of overblown gimmicks that I'm always like, you could make that better. But no, definitely, I'm looking at Lesnar in this one. I think it's going to be a good one. If it comes down to Lashner and Leslie, I just woke up. I apologize, guys.
You just combined them. You made them new people.
Oh my god, I just fused them like it's Dragon Ball. Save me. Those two guys in a chamber, that's a lot of fun for me, especially if they're willing to just take a pounding and take a beating and really go at it. That's a lot of fun for me when those two guys square off.
So off to the women's side, we've got Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Doudrop, Nikki ASH, and the lovely, beautiful, talented Alexa Bliss.
Oh, she's back.
She's beautiful.
Thank you, wrestling gods. However, real odd drop-in. Last second, hey, you graduated therapy. Here's an Elimination Chamber match. Which brings some intrigue because they didn't really... There was no real resolution with the therapy. It was a weird kind of playoff. It wasn't like the therapy programs of old where it was Kane and Daniel Bryan, and
yes,
Kane's trying to get Kane out of his shell, and DB's just got him like, come on, buddy. We didn't get that. We only had Bliss to be working on this, and I have to believe that she's trying to get away from that character. That character was just, that was a go-home character, really bad. It made sense early when, Fiend was involved, and it was more of a kidnapping scenario, and we've talked about this before. So them getting away from it, I like. The question that I have is, are they all of a sudden going to not bring it back, but are they going to have flashes of it? Like, is she going to bring the doll in with her and have it in the pod? Like, this is my friend. And then Doudrop eats the doll, and all of a sudden Bliss goes ballistic. Just something along those lines. I feel like it's gonna, it's not gonna ruin what they're trying to do with Bliss, but it's gonna sour it a little bit. I'd like to see them just step away from the gimmick, and I think they're trying to. I don't know what they'd be trying to capitalize on. But Bliss is an interesting one. I'd love to see her just stick to being Alexa Bliss and just having a good show. Because before all of this creepy voodoo doll stuff, she's a good talent. She's good on the mic. She's a good sell. I won't say she's a great sell just because I haven't seen it in a while. But she's also got a really, really good, tenacious offensive side to her. So I think that all of that together is what makes her such a really good character. So when you try to make her this indestructible, just kind of zombie, that's part of the reason it didn't make sense. Bliss could be a dark horse. If she is a dark horse, it's definitely going to be an odd setup because you have so many powerhouses in here. Nikki ASH, Nikki, I love you, but no. Not this one. I don't see it. I just don't. I think that you are meat to the beasts. Probably Rhea Ripley again. Doudrop's an odd one because I really like her. I really like her. I liked her in NXT UK. I liked what she was doing as far as the offense. I want to see her. I want to see her portray less of the big guy, the big woman role, and I want to see her get back more to being a good wrestler. because I think she's a very good wrestler. I will say, because we didn't have a chance to talk about it yet, or maybe we did, that's senton on Becky Lynch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my Lord. I've never seen – so one thing that I love about WWE is they'll always tease you with the instant replay, and they'll go slow-mo right up until the impact, and then the impact they play at full speed so you can't see it, and they didn't do it at all on that one. It literally was just slow-mo dewdrop flying through the air and going. That was that one hurt me. But I like that, and I think that this match could maybe cater to Dewdrop a little bit. Like I said, I want to see her come back to being more of the wrestler and less of the big woman presence, especially because you have two powerhouses in here in Belair and Rhea Ripley, both who can they can absolutely go with her as far as matches. But we just saw on Raw with Ripley, that gauntlet match, I love that it was her feature. I love that she just went through everybody. I love that they gave her an opportunity to kind of get rolling. It makes me wonder what they're doing with Chamber. Maybe if it was a bit of a tune-up, Ripley might be your number one in the ring, and Ripley might be going a little while. Now I'm picking one out of these guys. I don't know, because everything feels like it's just Bianca's to take. There's just such, the story isn't finished between those two. They want the story finished between those two. And are you keeping it at Mania? Are you pushing it to SummerSlam just to kind of add more fuel to the fire? What are you doing there? If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Bianca, just because she came in last woman in the gauntlet match. She got one over on Rhea. This could all be leading up to some sort of monster heel turn by Rhea too. Like, she gets fed up with losing. She gets fed up with missing out on opportunities and just starts going full badass bitch, which I would kind of like to see that role with her. I think they could get a little more out of her on TV there. And also they really are just overwhelmed with a lot of, I guess you'd call them faces. The women's division needs a little more set, in my opinion, just because Rhea's always teetering. Nikki ASH, I know what she is, but I want to care more, because I love Nikki Cross. I don't like Nikki ASH. I loved what Nikki Cross was, and we need to see where Bliss is going to fall. Because Bliss, she's a fan favorite. She's always a fan favorite. But is she going to go back to Goddess, where, she was a bitch? And then you have Liv Morgan. I love Liv. I really do. There's bigger, more star power, more talented women that are in this match, and I think my top two, if I had to choose, are going to be Ripley and Belair. And I think Belair probably edges over Ripley again tonight. And if Ripley does take another loss to Belair, maybe you're seeing the beginnings of that heel slide. I think that would probably be the breakdown that makes sense to me.
All right. Reigns versus Goldberg 2 years later.
Closure.
Finally.
I kind of like this. So I'll come right out. I'm not the biggest fan of Goldberg since his returns. I haven't been. I loved what he was in WCW. I loved that he was this unstoppable animal. I loved what he was his first couple of times when he got into WWE, and he was doing programs with The Rock, and he was doing programs with all of those guys. But I'm also a person who's of the mind that you got to let your younger talent go. Quit bringing back one-trick ponies, and Goldberg has kind of evolved into that. Probably the one time that I will take that back and say what he was doing was really good, though, was that first shocker. I think it was Survivor Series 17, maybe, when he beat Goldberg. Or when Goldberg beat Goldberg. When Goldberg beat Lesnar for the title. That one was really good, but that one was Lesnar saying, hey, we can stretch this into 3 matches and make some real money off of this. And that was the report coming out right after. But that was nice because Lesnar knew what he was working with, and Lesnar's big enough to where those 2 guys can have pretty decent matches when they want to. I mean, if it gets to a point where Lesnar just doesn't want to work with him, he's not going to work with him. It is what it is. Yeah. So these guys was supposed to happen at Mania 2 years ago? Mania.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah. Everything happened with that and the fallout. The promos are nice. I'm not listening to the people anymore. I'm going back to the old Goldberg. I would love to see it. I'd love to see him pull a shocker, but if he pulls a shocker, what are you looking at? You're looking at Goldberg Lesnar 5.
At WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania is your main event. Are you really thinking that is going to be the big money draw? I know that they're in Dallas. I know that there's some stuff being teased as well going on in Dallas. Might be looking at the Rattlesnake coming back, and I would be really excited about that. But I don't see Lesnar and Goldberg being the big money draw. I think Reigns has earned that spot soundly. Reigns has been dominating wrestling TV for the past 1.5 2 years. And I think that this was the best way for them to get this match out of the way, not really bring anything too crazy into the mix right up until WrestleMania. I think Goldberg will give him a good match. I think Roman knows how to have a good match with Goldberg. But I think ultimately in the end, Roman's got to walk away from this one, the winner. It just sets up your WrestleMania. My question is how, because we anyone who looks at the reports and follows along a little deeper, we all know that Goldberg really likes to protect that character because it's such an iconic character. Does he let Roman choke him out? And that would surprise me. I think the finish of this match surprises me the most out of all of them because we've seen Roman beat him clean. I believe we've seen Roman beat him clean. We've seen Roman put him down. But if he chokes him out, I think that's an extra added statement to the character that Reigns is in right now. And it really just keeps pushing to that, what he calls God mode. Mm-hmm. I love that he classified it as God mode. I think that's kind of cool. That's a nice modern reference. Your dog sounds so irritated at this match right now.
He's not a Goldberg fan.
Yeah. Should have seen him in the 90s, kid. But I think the finish is what I'm most interested to see. The match is going to be fine. Roman knows how to work. Goldberg knows how to work. I don't think it's going to be a 5-minute bing bang boom finish. I think Roman can actually take him into a decent match. And if it is Goldberg's last hurrah, maybe this is how he wanted to do it. Not a huge pay-per-view. It's big in the grand scheme of things because it's out in Saudi, but it's not one of the big four. It's not, disrupting any huge storylines, but he gets his chance. And if Goldberg does fall to Roman, as I said, it just cements that legacy that Roman's got building right now.
Just another notch on the chain for him.
Just another notch.
So the fourth big match of this night, Becky Lynch Lita. I saw the signing the other night.
How'd you feel about that?
Like Lynch was cowering. Like it was. I
thought I I didn't see cowering. I think I know what she was going for. I think it fell flat. Because we've seen a lot. Anyone who's, put years into watching wrestling, we've all seen at one point, you've seen that heel, or you've seen that super bubbly baby face who they do the signing, and as soon as they do the signing, all of a sudden the switch flips, and it goes from maybe it seemed a little cowardly, you were really calm and you were really somber, and then all of a sudden it turns around and you're like, you have no idea what you just agreed to. Thank you. I appreciate this. You're about to meet a new version of me. And I think that's what Becky was going for, but it just fell flat because she looked like she was sitting in that chair pouting. I don't know what it was. It had all of the elements of what I wanted. She just couldn't pull it off, or she didn't pull it off. And I feel bad because I think that this could be a good match. I didn't expect Lita to still have as much in the tank as she does. I'm excited that she does. I know that she said she's got a championship run left in her. If they're going to bring Lita back full time and give her a shot like they gave Edge, cool. I'm all for it. I was Team Lita back in the day. 100% actually over Trish. I was Team Lita. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do with this match. I still feel like Becky's going to walk out with it. Just because who do you pair Lita up with? That's a surprise for Mania that I really couldn't believe they would actually do when you have the entire women's elimination chamber waiting in the wings, and Bianca's got story with Becky that's still not finished. Bliss could be that sneaky dark horse. Ripley has showed that she wants the title. Doudrop, I think, I feel like they still want to make Doudrop look like she wants another shot at it. So I think Lita gives her a run for her money. I think it's a good match. I think it's a very good match so long as Lita's got the gas tank for it. Ultimately, Becky will win. I'm interested to see how. Enough of the yucky heel tactics. I'm gonna put my feet on the ropes every crappy roll up I do, just because it gets me cheap heat with the audience. Like, we know that that's your shtick. Go beat someone clean before WrestleMania. And you know what? Lita's the one to do it, because it doesn't really hurt anybody. It's certainly not going to hurt Lita at all if she gets beat by Becky. So I think it'll be a good match. It could sneakily steal the show if the chamber matches fall flat, because Becky has that ability, and I know that Lita has that ability when she's able to go. So keep an eye out on that one. That might actually be a better match than I think people are gearing for. But yeah, Becky all the way on that one. And hopefully it's setting up Becky and Belair so we can, again, closure.
Yes. The big part of this closure. Ow. As I whacked the side of the table. Comments. From Brian Damaris, it's Rhea's time. It's Rhea's time. So
I am with you. I am with you 100%. I love Ripley. But we got to let Bianca and Becky play out too, because I'm sorry. Bianca was, I really liked Bianca before that. What was it? 26 seconds, 13 seconds. I can't say 13 seconds. It just brings back the divisional playoffs.
Yeah. You did it to yourself. So.
I know. Oh, Lord. Get me out of this mind frame. What else do we have on this card? Now it's all the fun matches.
Yeah, we got the tag team, the Usos and the Viking Raiders. I think we kind of know.
So here's where I was talking about overblown gimmicks. I liked the Viking Raiders when, they were War Machine and they were absolute badasses. I really like the Viking Raiders, but I don't need them coming out in 20 pounds of gear. I don't need their gimmick is so overblown in the entrance and all of that stuff. I could just take a couple of giant white dudes that are tatted up and bearded and scary looking, and you could convince me that that is modern day Viking Raiders. That was what I meant by more realism and gimmicks, is I don't need all of the over saturated stuff going on. Yeah, they'll put on a good match. You'll get a lot of oohs and ahs from the athletics that those guys can do. They can certainly hang with the Usos in terms of what kind of match they want to put on, and is it going to be, is it going to be a 20-minute opener? Because those guys could put on a really good opening match. But yeah, Usos, I think, take this one away, no problem. Just because it's another one. What other tag team is really at Usos level on SmackDown right now? I don't have one.
Yeah, they're just going through the group.
Yeah,
they're now until something gets built up.
Yep, but I mean, again, that's why I need the closure of RK Bro and Alpha Academy, because if you're going title v title at the top, title v title for the tag teams, I would love to see Usos and RK Bro for a title unification. I'd love to see Alpha Academy too, because Chad Gable is on another level right now, and he reminds me of young Kurt Angle, and I love it, and I need more of it. It just makes me laugh every time. Shoosh. He says shoosh, and it's that Kurt Angle comedic gold, and I love it. Those guys, I would love to see, if this is going to be the end of RK Bro. I'm glad that they went with Alpha Academy, because I really like Gable. I think he's really talented. I didn't expect him to be that funny on the mic, but it's working, and it's so great. And Otis just makes it that much better because of his stumbles, because they're not in the ring and they're still showing him as this big, bruising, good worker, but they just made him such a buffoon. I love it. But those two guys against the Usos would be a good match, because what do you do against Otis? That's a whole that match could be a really good masterclass in how you play out a match and how you book a match. But yeah, tonight Usos, very hands down for me. I like the Raiders. They're not where they need to be. They're not on Usos level at this point. To be fair, I don't think anyone except for maybe one team is. Bless you.
Thank you very much. All right, so that's pretty much the awesome. I'm sneezing on podcast live. Yes.
It was better than me. I just fused Lesnar and Lashley together.
Yeah, you made a tag team match with these four guys.
Oh my God.
Two of them who don't exist.
Ugh.
So we're not doing a post show, but we'll catch up and talk about posts in the next few days.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of the build up, how we're looking for WrestleMania. Just a couple of things I wanted to touch on. The Undertaker getting in, that was pretty obvious that was going to happen, but who inducts him?
You got a couple. Who could induct him. I wouldn't put it past it being Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
I think Shawn Michaels would be a good one. The history that those two have. The finish at, what was it, Mania? What was the match with Taker, Triple H, and Michaels was the referee? Was that 18?
That was in 2012. I don't know what year, what number it was, but that was 2012.
Where the three of them walked out and they kind of gave the big nod to each other, and I think they were calling that one at the table as an end of an era kind of match. Yeah, I could see Michaels doing it. Knoxville's finest. I could see Glenn Jacobs make an appearance.
That's what Brian Tamara said. Brian, DNezz's mayor is actually
the
mayor.
Yep. I could see him going to do the induction. Aside from those guys, I don't know. I feel as though Triple H will be there so long as his health is allowing him to be. Just because all those guys really are, they work really well together. I'm pretty sure they're fairly close outside of the ring. If I had to put my money on the two, though, I think HBK or Glenn Jacobs would be the two front runners for it. They make the most sense. Could you see something crazy like Vince do it?
That's another thought. How about Brother Love?
Oh man, Brother Love. I don't know with Brother Love just because it was such a short-lived compared to Paul.
And DiBiase?
Oh God, we're gonna bring back all the classics. I feel like the one thing I feel like is you're gonna get a lot of people to come out of the woodwork for this one, so you're gonna see all those guys.
Yeah.
To see Taker get his way in, because if anyone deserves it, it's Taker. Did you see that TV package that they had for him last night?
No, I did not.
Fox put together, or at least Fox let WWE put together a hell of a package for him. They splurged on a Metallica for the music underneath it.
Oh, and yep, I did see it. Yes, I did.
That was a good teaser package, because that's not the full package they're gonna do for when they put him in. That's gonna be 10 minutes of nostalgia.
This is gonna be a less is more class.
Yeah.
Like him and maybe like Tatanka.
Tatanka. I thought Tatanka already got in. No,
we're gonna bring him in again.
Oh man. But no, I'm excited to see this one. This is a Hall of Fame that I really do want to be able to watch, because I want to see how it all unfolds. And I just want to see who shows up. I think the people that show up are going to speak volumes for, obviously, anyone who watches wrestling knows The Undertaker and has nothing but respect for him. But you could see that arena. You could see that arena standing room only for that man.
Mm-hmm. Just off guys who have worked with him.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for the TV packages they put together, because if there's a man that Vince is gonna spend money on and splurge on for that, it's gonna be Undertaker.
Absolutely, it's gonna be. Yeah. So, just on the other side, what are you thinking of Revolution coming up? The card coming along so far.
So far so good. You got all this Cody nonsense kind of forming a cloud over it, like what's going on, what's happening. But I think Revolution will be a good card. It's one that I'm definitely going to watch. I'm really enjoying that they're pulling the trigger and just going Punk MJF right all over again. Yep. The dog collar match was a little interesting for me. Punk calling that out and saying he wants that match. Aside from that, I think probably the most interesting thing for me is I want to see what they do with Keith Lee.
Yeah, because did you see the sides of the three guys who were in the ladder match so far?
Didn't Hobbs just get in?
Hobbs is in. Yep, and Wardlow.
Wardlow did get in? Okay.
Wardlow. So those are your three guys right now in a ladder match.
Okay, so when's Miro coming back? Put him in it. Do you want to get all your beef out of the way? Get all your beef out of the way. Go ahead.
All your big guys involved.
I will say, and I could get behind this match. Caught the tail end of Rampage last night while I was at work, and it was Cole finishing, or not Cole, Jay White finishing off his match.
Trent Beretta.
Finishing off Beretta. I could get behind a little Cassidy and Jay White.
That'd be interesting. They teased it at the end.
They teased it at the end, and I kind of liked how they did it. But I could get behind that for a nice Revolution match, kind of get White put into the fold. Cassidy's still, doing whatever he's doing, but he's building off of the Cole win. That never happened. Unsanctioned matches drive me nuts. But I think that'd be a nice undercard to the main feature matches of it. Everybody's excited to see Jay White get into it. Everybody wants to see Cassidy. And I think that could be a fun one to have and look at. Yeah, that ladder match is good Lord. Right there already. That's what, 700 pounds in the ring.
Yeah, for a ladder match. Very unique way of looking at it.
That's a lot of steak.
It's going to be a lot of little guys getting chucked around. Third, fourth rows, like lawn darts.
You just get them lined up on an assembly, and all three of them are like, nope. Oh man, no. Yeah, I think Revolution will be fine. I think people are overblowing a lot of the rating stuff still. Just let AEW do its thing. Let AEW do its thing. I know people are really upset about the Cody situation, and I gotta say that has been some of the most entertaining social media following that I have been watching. My goodness, some of these guys, you read these things and I'm like, either you're a bot account or it's really still real to you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Some of these guys I'm reading, you broke my heart, you destroyed my life, and I'm like, are you serious? Calm down, you're like 30.
Yeah. Please tell me you don't have kids. Please, you don't have kids.
Oh my Lord. But you know what? Cody going and making that move, I don't have an issue with it. I always thought he was misused in WWE. I always thought that he would eventually down the road get a shot at WWE, especially after revitalizing his career the way he has. I'm interested to see how they use him, and I think that this is also kind of a little note, in my mind at least. I think that we're not seeing Triple H on TV anytime soon.
Nope.
Because if he was there, Cody's not going back.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Cody's taken more personal shots at Triple H than he has the WWE itself with a lot of the antics he's done. And I think that would just cause some weird friction between those two. But I'm interested to see. I haven't seen any reports that the deal is signed, sealed, and delivered. I'm seeing teasers that he's going to show up on a Raw. I saw one teaser that was completely fake, and you knew it was fake, that he was showing up at Elimination Chamber, and I'm like, no, stop it. And then he did, right even before we went live, I sarcastically looked at you and was like, what's the odds he shows up tonight? I'm interested to see if they bring Brandy along with him. I don't know if they bring Brandy along with him. I think Brandy has less momentum in WWE than Cody does. I mean, Brandy got booted from the PC. I think she got cut from the PC. She wasn't even on NXT at that point. Or she had been doing matches a little in NXT, but nothing too crazy. So no, I'm interested to see how that plays out. What'd you think about the news? Last little side teaser. What'd you think about the news with Strowman and EC3 and those guys starting their own wrestling company?
I saw that, and I don't think it's as easy to start one. If so, I'd have one in the backyard right now. We'd be
ready. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Fly up, dude. Bring Kane.
Oh my God. Excuse me, Mayor. Have I got a business opportunity for you?
We're going to Little Westport, Mass. We're going to wrestle in a backyard.
Now, to be fair, I've done the backyard thing. That footage was burned and scorched and never to be seen again.
So You got no footage to shoot.
Oh God, look like Cornette taking bumps. So I think that I'm interested to see what's going on because, aside from that one spot at the Ring of Honor's last show, they've kind of been silent, video silent, radio silent, no social media, no nothing. Maybe this is a legit thing. And it is. It's harder to start a company than they're just declaring they're going to start a company.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering what kind of investment they have behind them.
Who is it?
Yeah. Who's backing this? Because you're not going to – guys like that aren't going to do high school sellout shows.
No.
They're not going to do end of the night ball game shows. They're going to want to do something official. So I'm interested to see what they do. And then what were they calling it? CYN? Create your narrative, choose your narrative.
I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Something like that, where they're basically saying the booking is going to be, more. I'm assuming that the name of the company is going to be more. The booking is not as tight and not as silly. Which okay, cool. I hope that this isn't all smoke and mirrors and BS, and not even so much for EC3, but I really like Strowman. I've always really liked Strowman. And then he went through that transformation where he went from a kind of bloated 385 to all of a sudden he's 320 pounds and he's chiseled. And I'm like, oh, you're a terrifying individual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, WWE dropped the ball with you really bad. You need to go somewhere immediately.
So they bringing in Ryback as like the fourth guy?
Stop it. Stop it. No.
Just a thought.
Blaspheme. I can't with Ryback. I haven't been able to with Ryback ever since I got blocked by Ryback on Twitter for I can't even remember. He was talking. He was on a rant about something, and I just left a subtle comment about something he had done in WWE, and he got mad and blocked me. And I was like,
wow.
What? Oh, I mean, to be fair, I guess I'm a little more abrasive on Twitter when I'm talking to people that speak nonsense, but it is what it is. Yeah, I can't stand Ryback. I don't know what it is about him. I wanted to like him in WWE. I liked him when he was the Nexus. I liked him when he was part of that group because I was like, you are a gigantic human being. You should be doing something here. And then he showed us why he wasn't getting booked. So no, Revolution looks good. I'm excited for the Chamber tonight. I'm looking forward to see more about what's going on with the Rhodes situation and this Strowman situation with the new company coming out. There's a lot of nice stuff going on. And I really need to put a little more focus into New Japan and figure out what's going on with all the New Japan stuff. I just haven't been paying attention to it. Still trying to adjust with this overnight job, and
yes,
the sleep schedule is not fun. Trying to think anything else? Not really.
No, just enjoy the day and enjoy the show, and
I'm gonna do my best to enjoy the show.
We'll pop on a time when you don't expect. We'll give you a little bit of warning, and we'll review this stuff and get you ready.
Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna say So we had a prior commitment tonight. The family's going to be at a birthday party, but I'm definitely going to be that schlub that sits in the corner because it's a birthday party for a 1-year-old. I'm definitely going to be that schlub sitting in the corner like, all right, what's going on? All right.
Yeah, let me pay attention to what's going on.
Quick notes. All right, good to go. And I'm excited. I usually, unfortunately, with Saudi shows, I have to watch them on my phone more often than not, because I'm usually doing something. So, par for the course for me. But yeah, we'll hop on at some point. We'll definitely review this thing. Hopefully it gives us a clear Mania picture, and we can just go off with Mania builds and Mania thoughts and breakdowns. Maybe even do a little who's going in the Hall of Fame, pick 'em.
Yeah, because I'm hoping it's a small class because of Taker. Although they don't do it in a 1 hour show anymore, so
Yeah,
it
no.
doesn't really matter.
It's like their Friday night special.
Try to think of some legends who need to get in there. Or not so legends who need to get in there, you know.
Repo Man is always looking.
Skinner, him and Skinner should go in together.
Let's bring Nails back.
He chokes out McMahon during the thing.
Oh man, Bray Wyatt brings in who? Waylon Mercy.
Yep. You've only been wrestling 2 weeks. Well, you're in the Hall of Fame. You're unbelievable.
Just a masterclass of fine sports entertainment.
The non-Hall of Fame, the Jobber Hall of Fame. That would be even better.
Dude, give me a Jobber Hall of Fame all day and make it headlined by Brooklyn Brawler, and I'm good.
Yeah, him and Barry Horowitz got to go.
Yes, Barry Horowitz. Oh, man.
And one of my other favorites is Barry O. Remember Barry O, who was legitimately
yes,
Bob Orton's brother, but they just called him O. Yeah.
Oh man.
Coco Beware is not a Hall of Famer. That is one of the most true statements of all time. I couldn't stand Coco Beware or Frankie.
Now, see, Coco Beware in WWF was completely different from
Coco Ware in Memphis.
Yeah. So I mean, in the world of WWE, no. Especially, no, he's not a Hall of Famer. But Coco Ware was. I enjoyed Coco Ware, and that was stuff that I had to go back and watch. Because I wasn't paying attention to wrestling like that when I was a kid. But man, I saw some old tapes of him, and that was fantastic. I was like, why wasn't this here?
It's all Frankie. I blame Frankie. I totally blame Frankie.
Just damn bird.
We'll put Matilda in the Hall of Fame.
We'll put Matilda in the Hall of Fame. Oh God. There's a good one. Who goes in the Jobber Hall of Fame?
The other members of who are with Viscera. Oscar and the other guy. Men on a mission.
Mabel and Autumn. Well, Mabel was Viscera and Oscar, and then who was there a third?
Yeah, there was like some
Lil Mo.
Mo, yes.
Mo, yeah.
We'll put those two in.
Oh man.
You're gonna have to, I'm sorry, Mo, you have to take the week off from Golden Corral. You gotta come in for the show. I mean, we're inducting you, dude.
Oh my God, Buddy spitting fire over here. You gotta take the week off from Golden Corral.
And the worst manager of all time, Coach.
Coach
coming in.
Oh man, there it is. I was wondering where you're finding all of these comments, and I'm stuck on private chat like a schlub.
Oh yeah, this is where people are talking to us.
Oh man, Steve Lombardi. Huh.
When he came out as the Brooklyn Brawler and beat up one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, the Red Rooster.
Man, there is so much. We could dedicate 3 episodes to a Jobber Hall of Fame. That'd be ridiculous.
The Portuguese Man of War. He could be in there.
Man. Portuguese Man of War. God, I'm trying to just go back in the early 90s and look for the good jokes. Man, I don't even... Gilbert,
yeah. Champion.
Champion.
He was the lightweight or 24/7 champion. He was the man.
Yeah, I think he was lightweight. Was it lightweight at the time? It wasn't cruiserweight because they didn't want cruiserweight for a while.
Yeah, that was still a while for the cruiserweight, but I think it was lightweight.
Listen, Doink is a fantastic individual. I love Doink.
How many Doinks were there? Okay. We know Matt Bourne.
I think there were 3 or 4. Because Doink was a character that just kind of like transcended over time. Yeah. he never evolved. It was usually the same suit, or at least a slightly different variation of the same suit. Yeah, Doink would be another headliner.
Yeah, that's one of the important Hall of Famers.
I always wondered how that would go. Doink get a run with the Intercontinental.
Just Doink being on TV was enough.
All of your rosters hurt, so what do? You put it on Doink. He gets like 2 months with it. It's the most over thing you've ever seen, and then someone good comes back and just destroys him.
Yep. Alrighty, so we're gonna wrap things up because I got another show coming up in an hour.
Oh, good Lord. You're just busy today.
Yeah, hey, whatever keeps us flowing.
Heard that.
All right, so enjoy the day. Me and DNezz will be back with you. We'll find the time to talk post-show and get you ready for WrestleMania. And, of course, we'll have a pre-Revolution show when that comes up. Once that full card is announced, I think that'll be a very good show.
Yeah, I think so. I'm with you on that.
So 12 o'clock today, the Day 3 pick NFL draft show. Myself and MJ. We're not going to talk anything draft. We're just going to tell you what the draft team is doing, how we're going to cover this, and how things are going to go about, and where our function will be for day 1 and 2 of the draft. We'll be on location with the fans. So looking forward to that. And next Friday is the Sean Thornton event, completely sold out.
I will be there in spirit.
Yeah, 5 to 6, we're running a podcast with him. We're going to talk to him about his book and his career and the whole bit. So 5 to 6, me, Johnny Sunchips, and Sean Thornton from Scotty's Pub in Fall River. So looking forward to that. So for DNezz, it's at E2G Founder. If you have any questions for us, hit us up on our socials. And have yourselves a good day. I'll see you in an hour. DNezz, go watch the show and enjoy your 1-year-old birthday party.
Oh, I hope so. Look for me on Twitter. I'll definitely be spouting some ridiculous all right, buddy. I will see you later.
All right, take care, my brother. Take care.